Welcome everybody to Golden Drop. My name is Sharon McDonald and I am a mother of 5 children, an essential oil user for 22 years. I've used everything off of the health food shelf to the best essential oil company in the world, which is doTERRA. And so today I'm going to be speaking to you about rosemary. It's one of my very, very favorite essential oils because it's really bright, it's really light, and it's going to really enlighten you on how to use rosemary. So many people don't even understand how to use it. So I forgot it over here at my workstation. So we're going to take a little walk to grab it really quick and bring it back over here so I can share with you my experiences with this essential oil. I just want to make it really clear when we're sharing these tips and tricks, we're not prescribing or diagnosing anything, simply sharing my experiences as a woman, as a health conscious, holistic coach, and business strategist, and how I use them in my personal life and in my coaching business, and how I use them with my children. So I'm going to share with you all the resources that I use for this, and so that you can duplicate that. And if you're loving what you're seeing, I hope that you will take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So the chemistry of rosemary really allows you the space to be able to help your muscular system. So, you know, when arthritis starts sneaking into your life, this can be of really good support to that system. It can really, when used topically along the muscles, it can calm the muscles along with marjoram. And I love the combination because it really is cooling to the muscles and calms them down. This is really also very lovely for alcohol addiction. So people who are suffering from alcohol addiction can combine this rosemary in a diffuser and really give yourself this space of direction in a way that your body really is receptive to it. Now, how do you help with addiction? What this will do is on an emotional level, this is going to help with the transition and knowledge on an emotional level. And I'll share that with you in just a little bit, but it's very, very helpful for that. Have you ever known anyone who has Bell's palsy? Bell's palsy is where part of the face, you know, is paralyzed a little bit and they don't have function of it. So it kind of sways, or the eye droops, or because the muscles aren't getting the attention that they need. And this is extremely beneficial for that muscular response. Again, it's a really great essential oil for muscles. The other thing that this is really amazing for is a chronic cough. This is supportive to a chronic cough because the aroma, the aromatic response of this, the support that it gives the body, is to be able to help those lungs really have a little bit more space. It helps the body open those air sacs a little bit more to be able to where it calms down the response, the spasmodic response that causes a cough. So it's really helpful for that. Sinusitis, it's really good. The aroma of essential oil of rosemary is really beneficial in also helping the aroma, the aromatic quality, to keep lice off of your hair. They hate the aroma. Rosemary is fabulous for a garden as well, because it really is one of those essential oils that the aroma is not enticing to many pests, and very, very helpful for stopping that. So when you smell it, it's so herby and so clear, and I love it for memory retention as well. It's very supportive to memory retention and memory help. It is also extremely beneficial to support the kidneys. And so if the kidneys are not functioning the way they need to, by rubbing this over the kidneys, we can get some really nice response from that. And I'm going to show you a few little things that you can do. So for a chronic cough, and this is coming out of this book, the Oil Magic book. And it's going to, I'm going to give you some recipes that you can use that will really help along the reflex points, or dilute it over the chest. And you can also diffuse these oils and they'll be very helpful. 2 drops of rosemary along the reflex points, or put it in a diffuser. If you're putting it in the diffuser, I would highly recommend adding peppermint to that process. It's really going to help your mental state. It's really going to help your respiratory. It's going to really support that in a really, really big way. I love this for adrenal support. In fact, rosemary with basil and lavender over the adrenal glands, which are down by your lower back, near your kidneys. So if you just know that area and you put this in there, it's going to be very supportive. And adrenal dysfunction manifests itself by massive fatigue, and really not being able to feel like have that longevity that you normally have, maybe foggy brain. So this is going to be super helpful for helping lift that mental. I would again add lavender and basil to this with frankincense. So here's the recipe. 1 to 2 drops of rosemary with 1 drop of frankincense, 1 drop of basil. And you just rub that along the back, and then you can take it in your hands, rub your hands together and breathe in, and you will be a totally new person. It's just phenomenal. So you can put those same kind of numbers into your roller bottle, a 5 ml roller bottle, and you will be able to use it however you want. Roll it into your hands, roll it along the back. I would recommend, if you're going to make a roller bottle, fill a 5 milliliter bottle of essential oil, and do it halfway with a combination of those oils in any way you want, and then fill the rest with fractionated coconut oil, jojoba oil, sweet almond oil, anything like that, to be able to allow you to keep it going into the dermal system a lot longer and a lot deeper. And it's really going to support your system in a way that you're going to love. Another little tip, just so you know, if you use those same, that same roller bottle over your thyroid, if you're really struggling with that, it's actually really helpful for the thyroid. For people who are having thyroid and adrenal issues, it's very supportive, and you will start to see the thyroid kind of dent in more, especially those of you who have maybe a puffy thyroid and maybe the thyroid isn't functioning the way that you want. This can actually be really good. I know clove is one of those ones they swear by. It just depends on what's really activating your thyroid from not being supported and functioning the right way in your body. So that frankincense, basil, and rosemary combination, it will be very supportive to the system when you use it along your adrenals and then over the thyroid. And again, you know, end it all by breathing it in and enjoying that. Okay, so jet lag is something that I often will have from a lot of travel. If I'm traveling over the pond to Europe, I'm fine when I hit London, but if I go beyond London and I go to Central Europe, which is Austria, Germany, Russia, Ukraine, Czech Republic, Slovakia, anything in that area, Hungary, that third day just about does me in. And I have a little combination of frankincense, of rosemary, of lavender, and copaiba that I put together that is so helpful for me. And I take Mito2 Max, which is a supplement from doTERRA that is built to be able to support this system and giving it extra energy. And I have found it much more helpful than caffeine, because caffeine, you know, it just stimulates a little bit too much. So I would highly recommend that for that. I'd like to share a recipe with you that I really love, and I actually got it out of a book that I was gifted. And this is the book. If those of you who have this recipe from this book, this is great. This is the pasta sauce, and I love this pasta sauce. So I'm going to give this here, and we will type it out as well so that you have this. It's a half a cup of pine nuts. It is 1 to 2 tablespoons of virgin olive oil, 2 cloves of garlic minced very small or chunky. It depends on how you like it. I actually like mine really garlicky, so we add 4 cloves of garlic. So we have a lot of garlic at our house. Then thawed spinach, and I like to slice it. I really like fresh spinach personally, so that's what we do. But you can use frozen spinach or fresh. If you do fresh, just get it little teeny tiny thin stripes, and it works lovely. You want 8 ounces of feta cheese, a half a bundle of chopped scallions. Scallions are those little tiny, they look like garlic, and they're really an onion. So check those out. They're different than garlic and different than a regular onion. So they're scallions. You want that. And then 4 to 6 Roma tomatoes, and then 1 cup of mushrooms if you like mushrooms, 1 drop of oregano essential oil, 1 drop of black pepper essential oil. I love the black pepper because it gives it a really nice kick. And then 2 drops of rosemary essential oil. And then optionally, you can add in some extra Italian seasoning, you know, with that rosemary. In fact, I actually drop in 1 drop of rosemary because I really love it. Anyways, you mix this all together, and then you pour it over your pasta. Oh, you guys, it's so amazing. So you brown those pine nuts in a pan, and then you start adding in all your other goodies. The essential oils are last because they're really powerful, but once you get that liquid in there, it's going to be amazing. So that's what you do, and you can serve it up with any pasta of your liking, and it's really helpful. So I'm going to tell you what this blends with first. And so rosemary blends well with frankincense. This is really important to understand so you know how to build a really nice roller bottle, to be able to build a great diffuser recipe. I recommend 10 drops to 15. If you're using citrus, you want to add 15 drops because citrus goes so fast. So I really like the 10 drops of essential oils in my diffuser because it has more power and lasts longer. And I like that smell, but it's up to you, personal preference. But the sweet spot is about 10 drops of essential oil, and it can just change the mood. It can clear the air. It can support you emotionally. It's really good. So here are the essential oils that are supported, that are really aromatically designed to chemistry-wise go with rosemary, and they complement one another. So we have frankincense, we have basil, we have lavender, we have peppermint, we have marjoram, and we have eucalyptus. And one other that I actually love that wasn't on here, and it's so interesting to me that I've not seen it anywhere, but it really does well with Siberian fir. And I've really been super interested in that, and really lovely. So what we have here is on an emotional level, I just want to read a little bit of this. So rosemary assists in the development of true knowledge and true intellect. It teaches one that they can be instructed from a far greater space of understanding than the human mind has to offer. It challenges individuals to look deeper than they normally do and ask more soul-searching questions so that they can receive more insight and inspiration. Rosemary assists individuals who struggle with learning difficulties, and it brings expansion to the mind, supporting individuals in receiving new information and new experiences. Rosemary aids in time of transition and change. And as we're going into 2020, this is the end of a decade, you guys. We're going into a whole new decade. Like, that's a big deal. And the moon and the planets are all, I'm not a big astrologer, but I do believe that the way that the planets are aligned really does affect us as human beings. So this is one of those places where this is going to be super helpful for us in helping transition change. When a person is having a difficult time adjusting to a new home, new school, new environment, new relationships, this essential oil can assist. Rosemary teaches the soul that one does not have to understand all things because they have a mortal perspective. Okay, it invites individuals to trust in a higher, more intelligent power than themselves and supports them in feeling confident and assured during these times of great change and understanding different perspectives. Rosemary root is also true knowledge that surpasses all understanding. So it's very supportive in negative emotions of being confused, overwhelmed, difficulty in transitioning, and limiting perspective and the difficulty with learning. So this is very much a very supportive mind essential oil. I always tell people who have learning disabilities, please lean on rosemary and for support in the way that your mind functions, as well as people with memory issues, like maybe dementia or things like that, a little bit of that Alzheimer's. It helps recall, especially when it's brought with peppermint. It helps the recall. Okay, and when we combine rosemary with frankincense and lavender, especially for that alcohol addiction, it's very supportive to the system in helping support the mind, the body, and the spirit in that letting go of addiction. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Again, if you're loving this, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to hear more from us, you can jump over to the blog, read more about all these essential oils. And you can certainly join me on Instagram or Facebook. Oils2go.com is our website. Oils to Go by Sharon is on Instagram, and Oils2go is on Facebook.